If you're a Singapore worker today, I want you to think about this statistic. According to the latest ADP People at Work 2026 survey, only 15% of workers in Singapore feel their jobs are secure. That's not 50%, not 30%, just 15%. In fact, Singapore ranks among the least confident labor markets in Asia, ahead of only South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan. And the biggest reason? Artificial intelligence. Workers are increasingly asking, will my job still exist? Will my skills still matter? Can AI do my work cheaper and faster? These concerns are real. But what many Singaporeans may not realize is that the government has already started rolling out a series of initiatives worth billions of dollars to help workers navigate the AI transition. Today, let's break down what the government is saying, what support is available, what younger workers should do, what mid-career workers should do, what older workers should do, and most importantly, how to remain employable in an AI-driven economy. Chapter 1. Why Singapore workers are worried about AI. Let's start with a statistic that caught my attention. According to the latest ADP People at Work 2026 survey, only 15% of workers in Singapore feel their jobs are secure. One of the biggest reasons is AI. The government recently warned that AI could transform jobs faster than any technological change Singapore has experienced before. Why is Singapore particularly exposed? Because we're a small, open, and highly connected economy. Many Singaporeans work in sectors such as finance, banking, professional services, technology, and logistics. These are exactly the industries where AI is advancing rapidly. Unlike earlier waves of automation that mainly affected factory work, AI is increasingly impacting knowledge work and office jobs. In other words, AI is changing not just how we work, but how we think and create value. Now here's the important point. The government is not trying to stop AI. Instead, Singapore has committed more than 1 billion Singapore dollars under National AI Strategy 2.0 to build AI infrastructure, develop talent, and help businesses adopt AI. Why? Because falling behind in AI may ultimately be more dangerous than embracing it. So the question is no longer whether AI will arrive. It is already here. The real question is, can Singapore workers adapt quickly enough to stay relevant and competitive? And that's exactly why the government is rolling out new initiatives to help workers navigate the AI transition. In the next section, let's look at perhaps the most important message from the Prime Minister. We may not be able to protect every job, but we will protect every worker. Because that single sentence explains Singapore's entire AI strategy. Chapter 2. What does no jobless growth actually mean? In May 2026, Singapore's Parliament unanimously passed a motion called an AI transition with no jobless growth. At first glance, that sounds like a promise that AI won't replace jobs. But that's not what it means. As the government put it, we may not be able to protect every job, but we will protect every worker. That single sentence captures Singapore's approach to AI. The government is not promising that every job will remain unchanged. Some jobs will evolve, some tasks will be automated, and new roles will emerge. The goal is to prevent a situation where the economy grows, companies become more productive, but workers are left behind. That's why policymakers are focusing on skills upgrading, career transitions, job redesign, and workforce transformation, rather than trying to preserve every existing job. The official stance is that AI should augment workers, not simply replace them. For example, if a report that takes 2 hours today can be drafted by AI in 5 minutes, the worker can spend more time on decision-making, client relationships, problem-solving, and strategic thinking. The role shifts from producing information to interpreting and applying it. That's what policymakers mean by moving workers into higher-value work. So when you hear no jobless growth, don't think, no jobs will ever disappear. Instead, think. Workers should have pathways to the next skill, the next job, and the next opportunity. Because Singapore's AI strategy is ultimately about protecting workers, even when jobs need to change. Chapter 3. What help is actually available for Singapore workers? Now, it's one thing to talk about AI disruption. It's another thing to talk about what help is actually available. And this is where Singapore's approach becomes interesting. The government isn't simply telling workers to go learn AI. It is building an entire support system around skills upgrading, career guidance, and job transitions. First, a new Skills and Workforce Development Agency, or SWDA. From 2026, SkillsFuture Singapore and Workforce Singapore will merge into a single agency called the Skills and Workforce Development Agency. Why does this matter? Because workers don't just need training. They also need career guidance, job opportunities, and information about where the labor market is heading. The goal is to create a more seamless experience where workers can access skills upgrading, career planning, job matching, and workforce support through a more integrated system. Think of it as moving towards a one-stop career and skills hub rather than navigating multiple agencies. Second, AI readiness assessments. One challenge many workers face is not knowing where they stand. Is your job highly exposed to AI? Which skills are becoming more valuable? What should you learn next? To address this, the updated SkillsFuture ecosystem will include AI readiness and skills diagnostic tools that help workers identify potential gaps and training opportunities. The objective is not to predict exactly which jobs will disappear. The objective is to help workers make better career decisions before disruption happens. Third, 6 months of free premium AI tools. This is one initiative that many Singaporeans may not know about. From the second half of 2026, Singaporeans who enroll in selected SkillsFuture AI programs will receive 6 months of free access to premium AI tools. And I think this is an important signal. The government isn't just encouraging workers to learn about AI, it wants workers to actually use AI. Because reading about AI and working with AI are two very different things. The hope is that workers can experiment with these tools, understand their strengths and limitations, and learn how to use them productively in their own jobs. Fourth, the Tripartite Jobs Council. The government, NTUC, and employers have also formed the Tripartite Jobs Council. Its mission is not simply to respond after jobs are affected. Its goal is to identify workforce challenges early and support workers through job redesign, skills training, responsible AI adoption, and greater awareness of available support programs. In other words, the focus is increasingly on helping workers adapt before disruption becomes a crisis. When you put all these initiatives together, a pattern starts to emerge. The government is not promising that AI will never change jobs. What it is trying to do is reduce the risk that workers are left to navigate those changes alone. Because in an AI-driven economy, the most valuable skill may no longer be what you know today. It may be your ability to keep learning tomorrow. Chapter 4. What younger workers should do. If you're a younger worker in your late teens or 20s, there is some good news. According to the ADP survey, workers aged 18 to 26 were the most confident about their job prospects, with 22% feeling secure compared to just 15% across the overall workforce. Part of that confidence comes from having more time to learn, adapt, and pivot if necessary. But being young doesn't make you immune to disruption. In fact, many entry-level tasks are exactly the kinds of repetitive knowledge work that AI is becoming very good at. So, the opportunity isn't to compete against AI, it's to learn how to work with AI. Think about it this way. In the 1990s, it was Excel. In the 2000s, it was the Internet. In the 2010s, it was smartphones. The people who learned those tools early often became more valuable, not less. AI may become the next foundational workplace tool. That's why younger workers should focus on two things: learning how to use AI productively and building human skills that AI struggles to replicate, such as communication, critical thinking, problem-solving, relationship building, and negotiation. Technical skills may help you get hired, but strong human skills often help you build a long-term career. The combination of AI literacy and people skills could become one of the biggest advantages younger workers have in the years ahead, because ultimately, the winners may not be those who know the most about AI. They may be those who know how to use AI to become more effective, productive, and valuable. Chapter 5. What mid-career workers should do. For many Singaporeans, the biggest career challenge comes in midlife. Mid-career workers often face housing loans, children's education, family responsibilities, and supporting aging parents. At the same time, technology is changing faster than ever. Unlike younger workers, many cannot simply stop working and retrain full-time. The good news is that Singapore's workforce support is increasingly focused on workers aged 40 and above. This includes SkillsFuture level-up support, additional SkillsFuture credits, enhanced course subsidies, and training allowances, including support for eligible part-time training pathways. The goal is not to start over. The goal is to build on existing experience and stay relevant as industries evolve. That's why mid-career workers should ask a different question. Instead of, "Can AI replace my job?" ask, "Which parts of my job can AI replace?" Because in many cases, AI is replacing tasks, not entire careers. If AI can take over routine reporting, data gathering, or administrative work, that allows you to focus on areas where humans still have an edge: judgment, leadership, negotiation, and relationship management. The most resilient workers may not be those who resist AI. They may be those who combine years of experience with new technology. Because in the AI era, adaptability may become just as valuable as expertise. Chapter 6. What older workers should do. If you're in your 50s or 60s, you may be wondering, do I need to become an AI expert? Well, probably not. The goal isn't to compete with younger workers on technical skills. Instead, the goal is to remain productive, adaptable, and relevant. Most older workers don't need to learn coding or build AI models. What's actually more important is becoming AI aware, learning how to use AI tools to save time, improve productivity, and reduce routine work. So think of AI as a tool, not a competitor. Because older workers still have advantages that take decades to build: experience, judgment, industry knowledge, professional relationships, and mentoring ability. These are really difficult to replicate with technology alone. That's also why sectors such as healthcare, education, and community services continue to place a high value on human interaction, trust, and real-world judgment. So the conversation shouldn't be experience versus technology. It should be experience plus technology. The most valuable older workers may not be those who ignore AI, or those who try to become software engineers overnight. They may be those who combine decades of experience with enough AI literacy to work smarter and continue creating value. Because technology will keep evolving. But experience still matters. And when experience is enhanced by technology, it can become an even stronger advantage. Chapter 7. Why this matters for your financial future. Now, many viewers of this channel are interested in dividends, REITs, CPF life, retirement planning, and financial freedom. And all of those things matter. But there's something important we shouldn't forget. Before you can build wealth, you usually need income. Before you can build a dividend portfolio, you need years of savings. Before you can enjoy passive income, you need active income. And before you can invest consistently, you need to remain employable. That's why I think one of the biggest lessons from the AI transition isn't just about technology. It's really about protecting your ability to earn. In the past, many people viewed job security as staying with the same company for 20 or 30 years. Going forward, job security may look very different. It may be less about keeping the same job forever and more about remaining valuable enough to move from one opportunity to the next. In many ways, that is exactly what Singapore's workforce policies are trying to achieve. Not protecting every role indefinitely, but helping workers remain employable as industries evolve. And from a financial perspective, this matters enormously. A worker who continues learning, adapting, and upgrading skills is more likely to maintain income growth, build savings consistently, invest regularly, and strengthen retirement readiness. In fact, for many people, improving their earning power may have a bigger impact on long-term wealth than trying to squeeze a slightly higher yield from an investment portfolio. Because the strongest investment strategy is difficult to execute if the income engine behind it breaks down. So while AI may create uncertainty, it also presents an opportunity. An opportunity to become more productive. An opportunity to stay relevant. And ultimately, an opportunity to strengthen both your career resilience and your financial resilience. Because at the end of the day, financial freedom doesn't start with a stock portfolio. It starts with the ability to earn, adapt, and create value over time. Final thoughts. The latest survey tells us that only 15% of Singapore workers feel secure in their jobs. The government recognizes these concerns. That's why we're seeing more than 1 billion Singapore dollars invested in AI initiatives, a new skills and workforce development agency, free AI tool access through selected SkillsFuture programs, new AI readiness and skills assessment tools, and a Tripartite Jobs Council focused on job redesign, workforce transformation, and worker support. The goal isn't to stop AI. The goal is to help workers adapt faster than technology changes. Because in the AI era, your greatest asset may not be your portfolio. It may be your ability to keep learning, adapting, and creating value. And perhaps the biggest takeaway from today's discussion is this. Job security may no longer come from staying in the same job forever. It may come from having the skills and confidence to move into the next opportunity when change happens. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What is your biggest concern about AI and your career over the next 5 years? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like as it helps more Singapore workers discover this content. Subscribe to Wealth for You for more videos on career resilience, financial resilience, CPF, retirement planning, dividend investing, and navigating the changing economy. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you for watching, take care, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. This video is for educational purposes only. Information presented is based on publicly available government announcements, reports, and surveys as of June 2026. Policies, schemes, and programs may change over time. Please refer to official government sources for the latest information and consider your personal circumstances before making career, education, financial, or investment decisions.